Have you ever wondered why the Book of Jasher, despite being quoted in the Bible, is not actually included in it? This question has sparked a compelling controversy, rooted in the pages of Joshua and 2 Samuel, where the Book of Jasher is specifically mentioned. Yet it remains conspicuously absent from the canon of biblical texts. What led to its exclusion? Is it a lost book, or was it deliberately overlooked? These questions ignite intrigue and debate. Let's unravel the mystery surrounding the Book of Jasher.
To understand the exclusion of the Book of Jasher, we first need to delve into its historical context. The Book of Jasher, also known as the Book of the Upright, is an enigma wrapped in a mystery. It's a text that's referenced not once but twice in the Old Testament. In the Book of Joshua it's cited as the source of a quote, and in 2 Samuel it's again mentioned, leaving us with the impression that it was a known and respected text in biblical times. The authorship of the Book of Jasher is a contentious issue. Some claim that it was written by Jasher himself, a figure who remains largely elusive. Others argue that it was penned by one or more unknown authors, possibly scribes or scholars of the time. This ambiguity in authorship only deepens the intrigue surrounding the book. The Book of Jasher is also often referred to as a lost book. For centuries it seemed to have vanished from the annals of history. Its existence was only known through its biblical references. But then, in the 18th century, a text claiming to be the Book of Jasher surfaced. It was a discovery that set the world of biblical scholarship ablaze. This 18th century text, published initially in Hebrew and later translated into English, claimed to be the long-lost Book of Jasher. It was filled with tales that paralleled and expanded upon familiar biblical stories. However, it also contained narratives that diverged significantly from the traditional biblical canon, sparking debates that continue to this day. It's important to note, though, that this 18th century version of the Book of Jasher has been met with skepticism. Many scholars question its authenticity, pointing to inconsistencies in the language and style, as well as the lack of ancient manuscripts to back up its claim. Yet, despite these doubts, the book has found a place in the hearts of many who see it as an important, if controversial, supplement to the biblical narrative. Now that we've set the historical context, let's dive deeper into the controversy. So what exactly is the controversy surrounding the Book of Jasher? The Book of Jasher, despite being quoted within the pages of the Bible itself, has been a subject of contention and debate among scholars and theologians. The main controversy revolves around its exclusion from the biblical canon, the collection of books accepted as genuinely inspired and authoritative in forming the Bible. The Book of Jasher's exclusion has been attributed to a few key reasons. First, there are questions concerning its authenticity. The book we now know as the Book of Jasher is believed to have surfaced somewhere around the 16th century. This timing raises eyebrows, as it means the book was absent during the canonization process that took place centuries earlier. There are doubts whether this book is the same one referenced in the Old Testament or an imitation. Second, the authority of the Book of Jasher is under scrutiny. The biblical canon was formed under the principle that the included books were divinely inspired, carrying a level of authority that was recognized by the early church. The Book of Jasher, while it may contain historical and moral value, does not meet the same criteria of divine inspiration and authority recognized by those who formed the canon. Moreover, the content of the Book of Jasher has also been a cause for debate. It contains stories and details not found in the canonical books, and some of these accounts contradict the narratives of the accepted biblical texts. This discrepancy adds another layer of complexity to the ongoing debates. The controversy surrounding the Book of Jasher is a fascinating study of the complex process of canonization, the historical context of biblical texts, and the ongoing discussions about what constitutes authoritative religious literature. While the controversy continues, it's important to understand the Bible's canonization process. How does a book become part of the official biblical canon? This is a question that has intrigued and puzzled scholars for centuries. The process, known as canonization, is not as straightforward as one might think. Canonization, in the context of the Bible, is the process by which the community of believers, over time, comes to recognize certain writings as divinely inspired and therefore authoritative for faith and practice. This process is not a human decision, but rather a discernment of what God has already decided. The criteria for inclusion in the canon are rigorous. First and foremost, the work must have apostolic authority. meaning it must be written by an apostle or a close associate of an apostle. This is crucial because the apostles were the ones who were taught directly by Jesus. Their teachings and those of their close associates carry a level of authority that other writings simply do not have. Furthermore, the book must be consistent with other scriptures. It cannot contradict the teachings and principles found in other biblical texts. The Bible, though composed of many books, is considered a cohesive unit. Each book is a piece of a larger puzzle, contributing to the overall message of God's love and redemption for humanity. Additionally, the book must have been widely accepted and used by the early Christian community. If a book was not recognized and used by these early Christians, it was unlikely to be considered for inclusion in the canon. Finally, the book must bear evidence of high moral and spiritual values that reflect the work of the Holy Spirit. Given this understanding, it's clear why the Book of Jasher didn't make the cut. It lacked apostolic authority, wasn't widely accepted by the early Christian community, and had inconsistencies with other scriptures. While it may hold historical value and interest, these factors prevented it from being recognized as part of the biblical canon. Despite not being part of the Bible, the Book of Jasher has made its mark in modern times. This ancient text, enigmatic in nature and shrouded in mystery, has found its way into the hands of scholars, theologians, and curious minds alike, leaving an indelible influence on contemporary understanding of biblical narratives. The Book of Jasher is available today in various versions, each one offering a unique perspective. Some are seen as mere curiosities, while others are revered as precious historical documents. These versions serve as a testament to the enduring interest in this book and the continued efforts to discover its origins and unravel its mysteries. The influence of the Book of Jasher stretches across various religious and scholarly circles. In some Christian denominations, it is examined as an additional source of biblical history, offering alternative narratives and insights into well-known biblical events. Among scholars, the Book of Jasher is considered a valuable resource for understanding the historical and cultural context of the Bible. Its impact on biblical scholarship and interpretation is undeniable. The Book of Jasher has offered fresh perspectives on familiar stories, challenging traditional interpretations and prompting new lines of inquiry. It has sparked debates, fueled research, and inspired a plethora of academic papers and dissertations. Its narratives have been analyzed, dissected, and compared with canonical texts, contributing to a more nuanced understanding of the Bible. Furthermore, the Book of Jasher has permeated popular culture. References to this ancient text can be found in literature, film, and even video games, reflecting its widespread recognition and fascination. In the end, the Book of Jasher, despite its non-canonical status, continues to spark curiosity and debate. Its presence in modern times, its influence on religious thought and biblical scholarship, and its penetration into popular culture all serve as a testament to its enduring relevance and appeal. So, why isn't the Book of Jasher included in the Bible? It's a question that has piqued curiosity and sparked debates for centuries. We've journeyed back in time to explore the historical context of the Book of Jasher, unearthing its origins and its intriguing presence in the biblical narrative. We've delved into the controversy swirling around this enigmatic book, understanding how its authenticity and content have been the subject of intense scrutiny and diverse interpretations. Our exploration led us to the canonization process, a journey in itself, revealing the meticulous, stringent criteria that guided the selection of the sacred texts. The Book of Jasher, although mentioned in the Bible, did not meet these exacting standards, leading to its exclusion from the canon. In modern times, the Book of Jasher continues to play a fascinating role. Despite not being part of the biblical canon, it has found a place in the hearts and minds of many, contributing to our understanding of ancient narratives and offering an alternative perspective on biblical events. So here we are at the end of our exploration, yet the beginning of many more questions. The exclusion of the Book of Jasher from the Bible serves as a fascinating exploration of biblical scholarship, canonization, and the enduring power of ancient texts. It's a tale that reminds us that sometimes the stories outside the canon can be as compelling as the ones within.